Saludos amigos, mi nombre es Mark Nieves y estamos aquí con un invitado especial, el director de la nueva película Fall, Scott Mann. Así que un aplauso. Woo! Okay.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, I have to share it. So Scott, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for the invitation and thanks for being here. I really, really appreciate it. So we're very excited about Fall. The movie starts. If you see any cats, just giving you the heads up. If you see any cats, they're mine. So when
I love it. I was like, what's going across there?
yeah, but I have a couple of cats around here. So the movie is starts in theaters here in this Thursday in Puerto Rico. So we're very excited to have you in. And first of all, and just give you a feeling and congratulations on the movie. It's
Thank you.
really, really good. It's
Thank you.
very scary. I wish I could see it on the screen, which I will on the weekend. Because I think that's the way it was meant to be, to have
Yeah,
the sense of fear, the angle, the way it was
yeah,
shot.
for sure.
So I know that how you born for because it's a different situation. We know that the character she got lost her husband in
Yeah.
this horrific accident, and then all of a sudden goes. Nobody knows how about her.
Hmm.
Then she comes back. Then her friend, hey, let's go hang out. Are we going to do something? And just the two of us. Are we going to hang out? Like, cool. There's this tower in the middle of the desert. Let's go there. And she, okay. If a friend of mine told me, hey, I know you're in pain, you're
Yeah.
grieving, let's go to this tower, I say, no. But she
Out
said,
of nowhere.
no. I said, nah, we can do something else, but no, we go to this
Yeah.
tower. And,
That's true.
the once that you see the first vulture eating, you have the idea that you shouldn't be there. Like, no.
There's a few warning
Okay, let's
signs,
climb.
right?
So how did this idea came through from?
Well, yeah. Well, no, it's funny. I think yeah, and all those elements you want.
Yeah.
I guess you want the struggle of going there and going up it to be like maximized, right? All the warning signs, all the reasons not to, and that's kind of part of the fun of like putting a character through that hell is to kind of put the audience through a similar experience.
Yeah.
And I think the idea really was born to do something. One was from a fear of heights, a personal fear of heights that I think I and a lot of people share. And just to really like do a film that really tapped into that and made it its core, and have everything kind of wrap around it. And I kind of liked, especially the idea of something that, because film has changed and TV's changed and our
Hmm.
world's changed around, right? Like, and it's to do something that's very immersive, very theatrical, that takes you on a ride. That was really what it wanted to be. So myself and Jonathan, we looked at the film as much as a theme park ride as we did a movie, weirdly. And I don't think, and I'm not embarrassed to say that, because I feel like the kind of the emotions you want to kind of go through and the experience, that's actually core, and that's why we watch movies, if we actually break it back, I would say. And so and having something, exploring at the core something very serious wrapped in this kind of uh this thrill roller coaster, was what we aim to do, and have a reason to go at the cinemas to see something other than cookie cutter, and
Yeah.
and factory sausages. So something original.
Also, back in the 70s, we used to see all these pictures that you didn't have to see the whole thing. A great
Mm.
example is Jaws. Just
Yeah,
you see the shark maybe like 10 minutes for the whole movie,
yeah,
and people were afraid to go to the beach
yeah.
for many, 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 many years by that
Yeah,
one.
people are going to be afraid to climb 2,000-foot towers.
No, I'm yeah, I'm afraid. Even seeing like pass. Anyway, but even though when it was a
Yeah,
couple of years ago when bungee jumping in Las Vegas, which
yeah.
was awesome, and it was like 5 stories tall. And after seeing this, like, nope,
No, thank
nope.
you.
So it was great.
that's
I said the
that's funny.
experience was always there's the way the humans against nature in some kind of way. And
Yeah,
this is what happens here. They're against nature. They can
yeah,
do nothing. What can we do? How can we work this out?
yeah,
And
yeah,
the relationship between them, I won't spoil it here because it's not a spoiler interview.
yeah,
But the situation between them gets heated out in a while after a
yeah,
couple of hours, and also
yeah,
we see the progression of the characters once they're there. They're like they're in the shredding their all their
Yeah.
defenses, and once they start talking, and then you start like learning a little bit because we see how once has dedicated her life like being this YouTuber, she's famous, she's getting all this encouragement, and we see all the contrast. And I think I don't want to spoil anything, but
Yeah, don't
it's
get away now. But no, it's
all the,
but it's
yeah,
interesting. Like you peel back, right, and you put them in a
yeah,
situation where you add tension in different flavors of tension, and character tension is obviously a huge one to play with in that environment that's already so precarious and so tense as a kind of threat to their lives and falling. So it was a lot of fun to kind of put those elements together and really just kind of layer it up and keep turning the screw and make it worse and worse and
yeah.
worse and really going for it.
And also, what I like is small cast. Sometimes you have this bigger cast, you get lost in it. But the way that is small between the
Yeah,
relationship between her, also her dad, which
yeah.
Jeffrey, freaking
Jeffrey's great, right? Yeah, just
Jeffrey,
named it. Like, I think, yeah, it's super important. I think to put them in a
yeah,
place where we we empathize and we're on this journey with Becky, especially, right? That it's her point of view, so that the audience, as an audience, we can connect to it through her and kind of step through it with her. And every like rung of the ladder, we're kind of with her. And I think
mhm,
a lot of that comes back to her dad, comes back to her, comes back to her situation. It was same with Ginny, with Hunter. It's this,
mhm,
understanding the context of where the characters kind of came into this and how they start is as important as the climb, right? So I think getting that right and getting the right actors to play that was essential, and they did an incredible job, like not just performance, but I think like you say in terms of the situation of putting them through doing their own stunts at that height was crazy. So they Tom Cruised it all the way. It was great.
oh, nice. That's a way, nice way to put in it. But yeah, Hunter was a great character because Grace was going through some pain, personal pain. Well, she lost her husband. That's not a spoiler. You know, that's her
No, that's in the trailer. I think trailers allowed. Like it's okay. Yeah.
yeah, it's in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling, but that's the how everything starts to roll. Once she started like she felt guilty also because of the situation, and we see their relationship how it always has been. Then how it starts like going back to basics. I don't know if that situation did not happen, they would be as they went through. Both of
Yeah.
them became new persons, new people.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
middle of the movie, towards
So,
the movie, and
yeah.
also her relationship with her father.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
important for her because he was his ground. Everything was
Yeah.
to her, and then all of a sudden, when
Yeah.
the passing of her husband goes through, and then afterwards, it's a very
Yeah.
nice relationship between, not nice relationship, but you understand
Dynamically.
where they're coming from. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Totally.
it's something universal, that their relationship with their parents, and I think this is one way to express in a show, and I think that was really really great. But tell me, how was it filmed in this? I want to know how was it
how
because
we
it
went
was
and
during
filmed
the
it.
pandemic, right?
I,
You shot it,
uh,
or
Yeah,
how
no,
was it?
we basically we filmed it. We filmed it for real, right? That's kind of how we did it, and we basically had a very small team travel up and find a location that was thousands of feet, 2,000 feet high. It was kind of a mountain cliff top with a drop off, and then we built a tower at the edge of that cliff so that we could film the girls actually at height, and we can kind of film it all, pretty much all for real. So it was, yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
intense. It was hard to get up there.
And so the rest of you had to go down up there.
Yeah, yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
you're
Yeah,
brave. You're a very
yeah.
brave
Or,
man.
or, or stupid. I think some would agree.
No, you're very brave. Very brave. You didn't think about any consequences if I fall, somebody falls. Nah.
Yeah, no, no. I will say actually, I will. I think the extra plot is though to make this kind of stuff happen and to do it safely, right? Like you
Yeah.
have, we were blessed to have an incredible stunt team led by Ingrid Klein, who got on board the guys who did the Dubai, the riggers who did this were the
Mhm.
same guys who did the Dubai Tower climb, the Mission Impossible one. So
Okay.
they knew all about how to put actors in safety at height and do that kind of stuff. So I think the actors felt safe because we had like the top talent guys, the guys girls doing that,
Yeah.
and the actors, gradually like got into it, and then it was great. It was it really kind of helped capture the movie as it stands.
Basically, I love because I had that feeling of early 80s and 70s movie because
Yeah, good.
Once you start using your FX, and then those
Yeah,
movies
special
get really
effects are not.
expensive.
The thing is, you can't. Like my view is, you
Hmm.
have to if you want to play like psychological horror and thriller, right? You have to.
Yeah,
History should have taught us by now that like doing it for real, doing it grounded is the only way to really do that. Jaws is a great example of that, right? Like Jaws,
yeah,
it's like it still stands today, and it's because you capture everything kind of for real. And the hell that Spielberg obviously went through to film in the
hmm,
water. I've never actually made the link, but there is a hell of like us filming in the tower had a similar like hell about it. But I'm glad we all went through it and caught it that way, and that's what makes it unique. Like I think if someone said now, do you want to, let's do that again, I think everyone would say no, because look at all the things that happened. But
hmm,
actually the fact we went up there, captured it, and kind of managed to get it in the can is part of the kind of glory of it, I guess, and why it kind of works. But just having, yeah, if you did this fake, if you did it
hmm,
with CG green screen, all that kind of stuff, you would never be there. You would never experience it.
yeah,
You would connect to it. And I think like as if like I'm thrilled at the fact that just seeing the film, like even when I watch it now, I like I can't believe like they did that, and I can't believe we did that, and it's kind of like it's captured and it's there forever now. So it's
yeah.
that's what makes me kind of proud about it. Really, is that we achieved that all for real.
And also the fact that this is a film meant to be shown at the movie at big theater screen. In
For
Puerto
sure.
Rico, we got the chance to be shown at the big. It's going to be screened on big theaters,
Correct.
and I think that's the way it should be, because to get that sense of that feeling of being stranded up there,
Mm.
you can do anything. You have no tools, not nothing,
Yeah.
and your wits and how to
Yeah.
survive, which is basic human
Human.
knowledge about what
Yeah.
can I do from up here, and
It's
then
very, yeah, you're right. It's like it strips this simple situation down, but it's a very there's a spectacle of it, but actually exactly what you just said, the immersion of being in a theater. Like my
yeah,
my experience of it is the bigger the screen, the better the experience. Particularly for this, and so it's you want the maximized ride. I would recommend the biggest screen possible because it
yeah,
really, yeah, it is effective that way.
yeah, especially the audio and the vultures. Damn, I hated those vultures.
Oh yeah, those vultures.
Yeah, they
I
were quick.
Yeah,
How
it's
did you get the
yeah.
train? Or were there turkeys?
They were the hardest thing to. They were the biggest challenge. Like so, basically, the vultures. Yeah,
Yeah,
they were the biggest challenge in the whole movie. Like we had to get the vultures to actually do what you wanted to do. It's impossible. So we had to almost move our world around the vultures, like to where it would be facing, because the wind and all these kind of crazy things.
yeah,
They were a challenge for sure. Like that it's because you have least kind of control over it, I suppose. They were the hardest thing to kind of get ultimately. That
yeah.
was
And
yeah.
I hope they get paid.
Yeah, they did handsomely.
All right, awesome. Well, I'm glad to be here. I think we had a great time, Scott. I wish you
Thank
all
you,
the best, and if you're in
thank
Puerto
you,
Rico, and we have a good time. Thanks
thank
again.
you.
Ok, la película ya saben, va a estar en cine, comienza el jueves y va a estar en todos los teatros. Así que aprovechen, vean la película, se van a sorprender, tiene mucho realismo, se van a sorprender. Thanks again, Scott, for everything. El
Thank
director de
you.
la película, así que ya saben, está disponible en los cines.